Hello, friends. Welcome. This is our daily quarantined but united message. We're actually going to be switching the message to socially distanced, spiritually connected. And our mission here is to every single day come forward and share something with the community, something that the community would appreciate, to everyone sitting at home to receive some benefit, receive some inspiration, receive some words of thought. If you like what you see, feel free to share it. Share it with your friends and family. Share it on. Share it with whoever you think would benefit. Today I had a very interesting story talking to a friend of mine, and he shared the story with me, reminded me of the story, and I'd like to share that story with you. The story goes back to the years mid-1700s, back in Poland, and there was it was in the time of the Baal Shem Tov. Baal Shem Tov was the founder of the Hasidic movement, the founder of revolutionized Judaism the way we know it today. And there were two brothers. The brothers' names were Zushe from the city of Annapolis and Elimelech of Lizhensk. These were two brothers, saintly men, great righteous men, that were that in their cities they had great esteem and great prestige and great stature in the community. But they didn't like to be constantly in a situation like that. And they wanted to be among the folks, among the day-to-day people. And they had a custom where together they would meet up and they would dress as beggars. And they would go from town to town. They'd go from town to town, dressed as beggars, presenting themselves as beggars, and they would go from synagogue to synagogue and asking people for donations. And while doing that, they had the opportunity to interact with the public, interact with the community, see what people would like to hear, see what's going on with people's lives day to day, and they would offer words of encouragement, study, spread Yiddishkeit, spread Judaism. And it was an incredible opportunity for them and for the community, and no one knew who they were. And they were great saintly men of very great righteous people. And on one occasion, on these trips, they were traveling, and they arrived at a city, and they did their daily thing. They went to pray in the synagogue, and then after prayers, they would go around and ask some people for some for some money. And the local beggars that were there, that lived in that city, felt a little threatened by their presence, because they felt they're going to take away from their dinner. So they went to the authorities and reported them as whatever report they gave. They were raising funds for the opposite party or for the enemy or whatever. After hearing this, authorities came and arrested Reb Zushe and Elimelech and threw them in prison. While they're in prison, obviously, they're sitting there among the criminals of society, and they are not feeling too happy, to say the least. It comes time for the afternoon prayer, the mincha prayer, and Rabbi Elimelech, the younger brother, wants to start praying, and he starts crying. So the older brother, Zushe, turns to his younger brother, says, "Rabbi Elimelech, why are you crying?" He says, "I'll tell you why I'm crying. I want to pray to God. It's the afternoon prayer. And I turn to the corner. I see this pail in the corner that serves as the restroom. And the halacha, the Jewish law, is that if we have a room where there's present a pail as such, we cannot pray. We cannot pray. You're not allowed to pray in that room." And Rebbe Elimelech felt dejected, and he started weeping. He started weeping terribly. So his brother Reb Zushe told him, he turned to him and he said, "Elimelech, why are you crying? The same God that told you to pray every single day, that same God also told you that in certain situations, certain circumstances, you should not pray. And by you not praying, you are essentially serving God the same way. You're serving the same God the same way by you not praying. So we have to rejoice with the fact that we're serving God by not praying." And Rabbi Elimelech quickly changed his tone. and his whole persona changed, and he started smiling. He said, "You're right, Zushe, you're right. Now is a time to be happy." And they started humming a little song, a little happy song. They started singing a song, and slowly the energy built up, and they stood up and they started dancing, and they put one hand on the other, and they were going at it, and this was contagious. And the other criminals in the same cell also stood up and started dancing. Before you knew it, there was a bar mitzvah happening in the jail. And Reb Zushe, and as they're dancing, so the wardens hear the commotion. They come barging into the cell and they say, "What's going on over here?" They pull over one of the prisoners and says, "Well, what's this dancing going on?" He says, "I don't know." He points to the Jid, the two Jews. Two Jews? What happened? I don't know what happened. They were talking in their language. Then they're pointing at the pail. They're pointing back at the pail. And all of a sudden they stand up and start dancing. So the warden says, "This pail is making them dance. I'm going to show them." Takes the pail, lifts it up, and walks out of the room. He says, "No more dancing." Then Reb Zushe turns to his brother Elimelech and he says, "My dear brother, now you can pray. Now you can pray." So, what is this message? It's a fascinating story because I think we find ourselves in a very interesting situation now. Synagogues are all shut down around the world. Millions of Jews around the world go to synagogue every single day, pray together, studying, talk about us and Loudon, the children's programs, the Mini Judah, the classes, the prayers, everything is at a halt. And you could feel sad. You could feel, we're stuck at home. We're not doing what, we're missing out on community. We're missing out on inspiration. We're missing out on the sense of Jewish connected, physical connection. But we have to know that that this is saving lives, staying at home. And there's nothing more holy in Judaism than a human life. A human life is the holiest thing in Judaism. So when we are staying at home and we're not attending services, we're not attending prayer, we're not attending, that itself is serving God. That is serving God on the highest level. So if it's about us, how I feel, I want to be connected, I want to be inspired, I want to serve God. So then if it's about you or it's about us, then we may feel dejected, we may feel we're missing out, we may feel we're not connecting to God, we're not doing what we got to do. But if we take a zoom out, and we focus that this is not, it's not about us, it's what God wants. This is what God wants. God wants us to be at home right now, and this is our reality right now for the time being, temporarily, but this is our reality. And I think that's a beautiful message. So we are doing studying, we are getting together, we're all doing our thing, but it's hard to say this. It's hard to verbalize what I'm about to say, but this is God's will. What's going on in the world, nothing happens outside of God's will. I don't understand why. And I don't know one person walking this earth that can explain what's going on. But this is God's will. And by us doing what we're doing, we are servicing God in the highest levels. So l'chaim, let's take that perspective, which is a beautiful perspective with the story. I encourage you to check out these two brothers. Reb Zushe was born in 1700. Reb Elimelech was born in 1717. So we're talking a couple hundred years back. They were incredible individuals that were selfless and spiritual. And to close today's socially distanced but spiritually connected, to close it all together, I want you to know that if you enjoy this daily message, and you enjoy this inspiration, and you enjoy this, share it with somebody. Share it with somebody you think could benefit from it. Because in times like this, we are distanced socially, but we're connected spiritually. And if you can share and give people this hope and this sense of positivity, it's important. It's the least we can do for one another. As well, I would like to point out that we're having a challah class, challah baking class. Yehudis, the Rebbetzin, Yehudis, will be there 8:30 this Thursday. You can check out the Facebook page for some more details of the event, as well as we have our weekly study class at 7 p.m. this week. 7 p.m. We're doing it on Zoom. And again, our task force is live and it's going and it's busy. So please reach out if you know anybody in Loudoun County that needs help, that needs anything, any essentials. Reach out ASAP. We will get it to them, God willing, within the next 24 hours. Wishing you all the best. Stay positive, stay healthy, stay excited, stay upbeat, reach out for one another, care for one another, and I'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday at noon. All the best, and